When I left the field of education, I was at the top of my game. I'd been doing it long enough that other teachers came to me for suggestions and parents wanted their kids to be in my class. But the job that I took after that, I was a complete novice in the area of computers. In fact, I had to ask my coworker at the time, this guy who was young enough to have been my son, how do you attach a Word document to an email? Oh, he was light years ahead of me. More than once, I had to swallow my pride and say, I have to ask you something again that I know I've already asked you before. He was very patient with me. But looking back on that, what I realize is I learned so much from him precisely because he was so much farther ahead of me. And that is wicked tip number 9 for creating a growth environment. Someone is ahead of you. Now, that can sometimes make us feel a little bit uncomfortable, especially if we have the mindset that says, well, because I'm the boss or have so many years of experience or a certain degree, I should have all the answers. Well, let me just gently suggest that if you have all the answers, you're probably not asking the right questions. And if someone is always at the head of the class, they're in the wrong class. See, unless someone has a teachable spirit and the humility, there's that word again, to acknowledge that there are areas of life and work where they need to learn and grow, that person will be, and I'll just say it bluntly, they'll be obnoxious. See, when we're able to admit that we need and even seek out people that are farther along the path than we are, we give others permission to do the same thing. So how do you do that, practically speaking? Well, what about a couple of times a month having somebody on the team share something that they have great passion for? And it could be work-related or not. Now you might be thinking, isn't that a little like show and tell when we were kids? It is, and here's why I think it matters. See, when someone is able to share about what they love, it gives them the opportunity to shine. And it also creates the possibility that you could find a connection that you have with that person that you might not know any other way. And if we really want to be working in an environment where it's growing, we have to do different things that are going to nourish that. Learning about our boss and our coworker can shift our perspective to include more of who they really are as people. And when we can do that, it can expand our respect for them. Seeing more of people's strengths can also help us to be able to extend grace to them in their areas of weakness. And wouldn't you rather work in an environment where people knew you and saw you as more than just your role and title? Your final wicked tip is coming tomorrow, number 10. And be sure that you have blocked out time on your calendar for the 4 R's of Growth call on Tuesday, May 15th. See the details in the post. I'm going to be sharing why growth is essential if you want to survive. Stay tuned so you can bloom.